Hey guys, Dan the Wolfman here, theCombatSystem.com at Gokor's highest found academy. We're talking Kesa Gatame 2, Part 2. Part 1 is very popular on YouTube. I'm glad you guys liked it. I showed 15 submissions. And now we're talking Kesa Gatame. In wrestling, it's head and arm. Judo, it's scarf hold, or I call it sit out. So whatever name you want to call it, that's great. We're going to show some more tricky positions, sometimes with the arm between the legs, and more submissions when other submissions aren't quite working, that everyone should know. Just so guys, so everyone's not familiar with my background, I've been doing martial arts since 1986, dabbling in grappling and MMA since like 95, got hardcore in grappling and MMA with tons of the top instructors and fighters in the world since January 97. I got a brown belt under Gokor Shavichian, trained with Gene LeBeau as well, and trained with a lot of great guys before that. So, okay, let's get into it. From the previous video, we showed how to get Kesa Gatame, which is a head, arm triangle choke. Okay, and if the guy blocks the arm triangle choke by answering the telephone, you go to the telephone lock. But the other day I was rolling with him, and this guy is super flexible. So I'm in here, and I'm pulling, and look, he doesn't tap. Look how far out I'm pulling him for the telephone lock. He does not tap. So then I usually grab, okay, and then I start to work the Q-bone. Now before I had my hand open and I wanted to talk, if it's a street, guys, you do got to watch about putting your fingers near the guy's mouth. You don't want to get your fingers bit off. So you could always panther choke it or fingers straight. I can lift his nose. I showed that submission before. If I can lift his nose and then get under his chin, okay, there's a nice choke there. I can do the same with panther to the artery. So there's different variations of this Q-bone technique. And what I mean by Q-bone technique is you went for the Kesa Gatame arm triangle choke. He blocked. I usually immediately go to answering the telephone lock, and if that doesn't work, then I go to this position and work this hand in. If I can get it in, great. If to the throat, to the nose. If I have MMA gloves on, another submission is the Smother Choke. Not so good without, but if you got an MMA glove, trust me, this sucks. You keep your head here and you just cover on the guy. And you really, with the MMA glove, that from that position with the head tight is going to be nasty. If none of that works, it's going to take a long time, but you could arterial choke since this arm's kind of squeezing and going to be cutting off this artery. This one could go into his artery here, and it's just painful and nasty, besides all the pressure points in the cheek that I can hit and all that kind of stuff. So be aware of some of these variations. Now again, with this in general, Kesa Gatame, you can be up here into his ribs. You're going to be hooked in here, making life hell. If he's moving around, you can always pull up on this head and take a lot of his movements away. Go ahead and move around. So you can always stop him from moving around a lot with the movements. I talked about floating the hips. I can be in tight, especially against the cage, or I could be floating low. So whether you're talking just grappling or MMA, be aware of either my base. Sometimes I ride the guy low, or a lot of times I'm up high, making my ribs compress his weight into his chest. Okay, so I want to talk all about those Q-bone variations. You go right to that, or if he doesn't go with that telephone lock like this guy because he's flexible, I can also grab here, okay, and now I can gooseneck wrist lock him. Okay, see that? Or if you don't get it quite there, I can just grab here, and then I can go with a top shoulder lock. Okay, I won with that top shoulder lock for mount. One of my 3 submission wins in my advanced grappling tourney I did in 2000. I only got the finals with that cradle hook submission on tape, but one of the guys I mounted, and I knew he wasn't flexible that way, big, because they were heavyweights, even though I cut weight. I went against the heavyweights, and I took his shoulder up for mount. You could do the same thing from Kesa. So you're here and sit out, Kesa Gatame, this isn't working, switch it, rotate up to go against the shoulder, or see this, gooseneck, double it up, or put it on the mat, and gooseneck wrist lock here. Okay, so there's other submissions for you. I think that's all pretty easy. Hopefully you guys get it using some help here. Okay, now sometimes we talked about this before. This arm, a lot of transitions, you get caught in a weird position sometimes where this arm ends up between your legs. Now when it's there, I talked about the quick kill, but if he's got really thick arms, your hips are off the mat and he can bridge you. We talked about that counter arm bar in the first part, so look at that video. If it's here, you could still work on the guy. Grab that wrist, suck him in. Maybe I can still get a neck crank on him. If that's not working, I'll transition my hands. Boom. boom, suck it up, and go for a baby arm armbar here. The baby arm is usually used as a follow-up on a failed omoplata, and you fail to seatbelt them, and the guy rolls over. There's no reason you can't get it from this position if you end up in one of these weird scramble positions here. So he got this, he's trying to bridge you over, whatever. I can suck him up, I can still work on his head, be heavy on him, see it's sucking for him, and then when it sucks for him, switch, triangle the leg here. That's, if you can triangle it, I'm actually trying to make my legs a little bit higher for the fulcrum. Bury my head on the other side, and then wrist down. It's like a short arm bar. Okay, let's look it around. So we're here, my head's buried in here. Here. Now, one more time. So here, he's in here, maybe he's trying to bring his hands together, whatever. I'm going to suck him up, I'm still going to ride his face and be mean to this guy and be a catch wrestler or a Catch-Jitsu expert. Okay, mix them together, mix wrestling, Jiu-Jitsu, all the grappling arts together, like Hayastan does. Here, triangle, baby arm. Okay, also, when this gets in here, or sometimes here, maybe I tried this quick kill, or in general it's here, and he decides to try to suck his elbow back and do a double underhook escape. So he bring your arm under, try to get it under my back, yeah. See now, oh shit, this guy's getting out the back, bring your right arm under. When he's doing this, boom, I got to counter right away, push with my fist, and the pressure points, fist or foreknuckle here. I drive the shoulder down, and it's a head choke with the shoulder and the head. So this is a head choke. So if he goes for an escape with the near side underhook, as he's doing that, sometimes I can counter. As he's pulling this out, I'm going to take his face the other direction. Sorry, that's just me. Try to get the shoulder down into that throat area, and then compress. So be aware of that. Anytime the guy's escaping, you might be able to catch him, or you can even purposely give up space. He goes under, boom, here, so he's looking, he's about to shuck out the back door, push him, shoulder down, push that shoulder into the throats, right? It sucks. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's a head choke or a head and shoulder choke. Or even if we were here, and then somehow this arm transitioned to double under, I don't want him going out. Either his head's tight, and at this point it's a scramble, come out the back. I'm going to throw in that whizzer and I got to wrestle. Or if I can time it, go ahead under, before he goes, before I really let him get too far in, before he's really too far in, see his chin's getting tough, push this up, out, and down, and there. Okay, sorry. So there's the head choke, very important. A lot of people don't know that one. Awesome submission. Now my mobility, as you see in the knee pads, is a little down. So I'll do it once and then he'll do it once. Also from this weird scramble position with the arm between the legs. Now I can try to submit him by lifting his head. Okay, but it's a lot of motion. He's flexible. But I can always be heavy on the guy, my hips off the ground, and be grinding him, lifting his head. And then boom, his head slips out. Right at that motion, I can then come across and try to get this kind of position, a mounted triangle. Now I don't have very long legs. If you got long legs, sync it up, triangle your legs, boom, and try to get the triangle. But even if not, great MMA position, okay? Then suck the arm and transition the arm, okay? Or here, yank on this head, boom, the head slips out, boom, suck it up, here, transition to this hip, hook the leg, spider web, kick that foot over, and then finish the arm bar, okay? So, triangle, if you can get it, if you got long legs, awesome. Not really my thing, but you can kind of go triangle to arm bar.
Great.
What next?
Close everything, okay?
Thank you, Coker. Next, fake Kesa, reverse fake Kesa. Okay, instead of here, I will switch my base. See this, guys? So instead of here, switch my base. Now sometimes he will hook my ankle with his ankle. Bam. Now, from there, not a submission, but if he's hooking me and he's trying to drag me back, I can use fake to then go to 3/4 mount. Especially in MMA, I don't care about that quarter. I'm gonna hit your face and over your face a lot. So it's really a tricky way of getting maybe to an advanced position and eventually getting out of the quarter guard or 3/4 mount. From here, switch, keep riding the guy. He hooks. He's trying to like drag it back in a guard, bring it up, point the knee and come over. And now from there, if he's still holding on, of course there's ways of passing, pushing this elbow, driving his spine sideways, his head sideways. Usually either there or, let me get it back here. Usually here he's still holding, quarter guard, bring the other foot on top, peel it down by taking his head off the center line and making him uncomfortable. Same thing to submissions. Here, reverse, he hooks in there. Thank you, sir. Boom, boom. Your knee bar, and always, the way I like is with head control, and always knee bar with head control, and counter heel hook action too. So it's not just this, there's the knee bar, tight 2-on-1, but this, see a lot faster, little pressure forward on the knee bar. But I like to, if I can, sometimes you can't, sometimes you're looser, sometimes it's over here. But if I can, I like to always knee bar with, see my head's making a good, sorry, and then here. And I like to double wrap too, grab the heel and use head. Okay. Come back to this side again. So that was reverse, tricky. He hooks, thinking he's Mr. Jiu-Jitsu guy. Awesome, I'm a catch wrestler, whatever. And I go for the kill. Back spin, sit on it, use gravity, fall towards the shoulder, pinch, boom, here, and there's the submission. So there's to the far knee bar from the tricky setup. Now, you could also knee bar from regular Kesa, okay? If you want to learn about leg locks, buy Gokar's 5 disc DVD set. Honestly, become a leg lock master. It's the grappling equalizer. Now from here, he can also hook. And we've taught this one before is nasty. Look at part 1. But if he hooks, wait a minute. Yeah, starts doing this kind of stuff, I might be able to get a knee bar here depending on where his knee is. You know, so if he starts hooking me, starts dragging on my back, that kind of thing, just be aware. I can transition this and come off this side for the knee bar. Here, 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 here. I messed up. Okay, so sometimes that's available. Reverse Kesa, tricky bait Kesa. He doesn't take the bait. And you're sitting there and you're sick where you know the round's about to end. Well, all right. Major back pivot. Boom, sit on him. Collect, pinch, fall, boom. Now I got double knee bar, Russian cowboy style. See this? I got this here. There's my submission and my knee bar combined with the heel hook. Here is a combination both. So I'm going to counter rotate this or counter rotate this, or I can work in here, or I can work in here. Ready? See, even this, because it's pretty tight. Double knee bar, Russian cowboy style. You all right with that? Yeah. Okay, one more time. First one, second one. One more time. So, I'm having trouble submitting a guy, but I'm making his life comfortable. I'm cranking on his neck. I'm doing all these things, trying to get in here for all the submissions that are in part 1. He's back to here. He's trying to bridge me. I'm having trouble digging in. Well, okay. Major back pivot. Sit on him. Collect. Fall. Boom. I'm down. I got this one's the quickest one right now. I got double. I got double. I got double. Okay, double knee bar. Okay, from Kesa Gatame, sit out, scarf hold. So there's a lot of submissions. To follow up on the 15, that was just 15 or 16 more, I think. Let's see. Show a couple more escapes. Showed a couple escapes in the first part that are very high percentage. One of these is very, very high percentage here too as well, if you surprise the guy. The other one's so-so, but it's a scrambly one, so you gotta know it. Go ahead and put me in, Kesa. Okay. So, he's here. Now what I'm gonna do is turn here, short arm bar, this arm, bring my hips into him, trying to break his arm, and then bridge him over. And then you work whatever from there. And I didn't get his elbow that great. So it's like a short arm bar like you would do from guard in judo, where like Omigawa's gotten before. He's here and I'm defending, whatever. I'm gonna do this here. Pull, come across his face. Pull, try to get it to my head, so my head traps it. See this, it makes him uncomfortable. Double up, boom. Now I'm starting to break his arm. Break his arm, come down, bring my hips in, bridge him over. Push that face, be nasty. I can actually submit him here, right?
Really?
Boom. Okay, hook, and armbar there if you want. So, let's do it one more time. This one I think is pretty tricky, pretty high percentage. You're trying to bridge and trying to do the other skips I showed in part one. I might bridge into him, pull here, grab across the face. Look, I missed his arm on my head. That's okay because his center now is passed over my center. So I can still bring him in and bridge. Same thing. One more time. My leg. Here. Catch it. Okay, see what I'm doing, guys? Here. It's kind of a little bit armbar here, but more here. Boom. Work to whatever, gift wrap, armbar, whatever you want to do from there. Okay, one more. Starfold escape. Do the other ones in part one I showed probably first. But if I got a good bridge, a good buck, I can bridge him and suck this elbow in. If I can get this elbow in, sometimes, defending or whatever, sometimes I can then underhook here. And if I can underhook, get this arm free, I'm gonna take this arm, control his head. As I'm coming out the back door, see me here, coming out? This hand's controlling his head still. This one's gonna swing on top. Boom. See, I grabbed his armpit. Now I'm grabbing my own arm, like an anaconda. From this side. Now this is like a figure four front face lock, like from catch wrestling old school, when the guy's just on his knees and you're in the front quarter, in the front. Now I got like kind of like an anaconda and like a front face lock or a front short choke. And then you would climb, hook if you can, and then compress him. Okay? What's important is you made a scramble. Maybe you just get back out. If the choke's not there, that's fine.